Hello again, everybody. Jade here in the WRIF virtual rock room. Today we're going to be talking to Oshie of Beartooth, so that should be a lot of fun. We'll see what those guys have been up to. And of course, you guys can always check out all of our videos up on our website, WRIF.com. We've talked to a bunch of our favorite bands. Really excited to be doing this. It's a lot of fun. If you guys have any questions, of course, you can submit them and we'll try and get to them through the chat. And, we'll keep it entertaining. We'll see and we'll try and we'll do the best that we can. What's everybody been up to? How's your week going? I did yard work yesterday. I feel like I'm 112 years old today. I woke up, my back hurts so bad. Apparently that's what getting old is. Also, getting old is caring about your yard. Super fun. Hello. Thank you guys so much for all the waves. How's everybody doing? What are you guys up to? Of course, we are live and local here in Detroit. You can check us out on your Amazon Alexa. Just say, Alexa, open 101 The Riff. You can listen on the website or you can listen on our app as well. So thank you guys. And thank you guys for everyone who has been listening and tuning in and messaging us, because the only person that I see in here is Meltdown. And I do have fun making fun of him. It's been a good time. Someone said they had to drive to Ohio. What the hell for? I'm just kidding. Of course, Beartooth is from Ohio. Columbus, Ohio to be specific. Home of the Ohio State Buckeyes. Speaking of football, how do you guys feel about the Lions picks in the draft? A lot of mixed reviews online when I was watching it. So once again, we're going to be joined by Oshie of Beartooth momentarily. Hey, Ace. Saying hello from South Lyon, my hometown. Good old South Lyon. You moved to Ohio for work. Well, thank you for following us here on Instagram. Appreciate it. Hello to our Canadian listeners all the way in Nova Scotia. Thank you so much. Oshie has just joined us. I'm going to give him the wave. Hello. Hello to our fans in Windsor. Thank you guys for listening as well. Waiting to get the request from Oshie here, and then we'll get going. Like I said, I've been screen recording these so we can post them on YouTube. So if you missed any of them, you can check it out. I'll tell you what, screen recording an hour-long chat on your phone, it's not as easy as it seems. Let's see if he gave us the request. I don't believe so. He joined. Thank you guys all so much for joining us. Weather's supposed to look nicer this weekend, so hopefully the rain stops. Hi from Louisville. Thank you for checking in. All right, well, see you later. So I just said bye. All right, here's Oshie. Connecting. There we go.
Hi.
Hey, Oshie, it's Jade here. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Hanging out here in Detroit.
Yeah.
Are you in Columbus right now?
I am.
Of course, my phone starts ringing. I'm in my office right now. Okay, so question, since we're live right now, do I just pick up and hang up on this person?
Yeah. I'd say go for it.
Done. It's one of our sales reps, and we will go do not disturb. There we go. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us. You said you're in Columbus?
I am, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Is the rest of the crew hanging out in Columbus? I mean, I'm assuming that you guys have all been in contact with each other, but probably not quarantined together, right?
Yeah, no. Most of us are in Columbus except for our drummer, Connor. He lives in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
It's probably a little warmer down there. I don't know. It's starting to get nice here, but it's raining today, so.
Yeah, it's raining here. Last week it snowed. I don't know. Did you guys get snow? Because Columbus is only about 3.5 hours from Detroit, so it was snowing here last week. And
Yeah, no, we didn't get any snow last week, but I'm sorry to hear that.
I know,
That
and
sucks.
we've been talking to some other bands, and they're like, "Yeah, we're in California, and at least we can go for walks, and it's super sunny and 85
Yeah,
degrees." And I was like, "I'm gonna let you go then, because I don't want to talk to you anymore."
yeah, no, that's just not fair.
Yeah. So what have you been up to? I know that you guys are doing the Red Bull virtual festival, which is happening this Friday, actually.
Yeah, yeah, we got some really cool live stuff that we recorded when we were over in Europe. Um, Part of which when I'm pretty sure I had Corona, like no joke, like during the show in London. I
When
was
were
like,
you over there?
we were over there in February,
Okay.
and we had been on a cruise, like the Shiprocked cruise before that,
Yep.
and like a couple people got sick like after the cruise, and then like me and Zach and our guitar tech, we all got sick like on the bus in Europe, and like my immune system just must be terrible because I thought I was gonna die, and everyone else like got over it after a few days, but mine lasted like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it
Well,
sucked.
there's been a lot of interesting information coming out about how early it actually like hit. Because I'm usually somebody who doesn't get sick ever. Like I don't think I've ever taken a sick day in the 13 years that I've worked at the radio station. And back in the end of January, I was like violently ill. Fever, vomiting, the whole, sorry, it's gross, but it was the whole
It's okay.
thing. And I kept saying to my mom, I was like, Mom, I got the coronavirus. And she was like, no, you don't. Like at that point, we didn't have enough information about it. And she was like, shut up. Like, no, you don't. Like, you're going to be fine. You just got the flu. Like, you'll be all right. But now looking back, I'm like, it might have been, but you're
I
feeling better now.
I would, yeah, no, I'm totally good now, and I was joking about it too. I was like, yeah, I'd probably have it, just like but really, I have not felt that awful in years. So like, uh,
Yeah.
I can only assume that's probably what it was. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
so when did you guys come back? Because obviously the height of this really kind of got big in March. So were you
yeah.
guys back here in the States in February?
Yeah, we got back like towards the end of February, maybe early March, but yeah, it was kind of like right after we got home, they started like locking stuff down, and we were supposed to kind of be on break right now anyway, so it hasn't really affected like our touring schedule yet.
Right.
Um, but yeah, so we kind of got lucky timing wise with it because we had just got home for a break, so yeah,
Yeah. So that kind of worked out for you guys more so than some other bands. But
yeah,
going back to this virtual festival, which is kind of the new way of people doing music. So how exactly is that going to work? I was trying to read up on it, and so are they just going to show? Is it like live stuff that you guys had done in the past, or are they having people jump on like a big like conference call, or how's that going to work?
um, I'm not sure. I'm sure every band is kind of doing it differently, but I know for us at least, we had already recorded some shows that we did in London and Oberhausen, Germany, that we wanted to get some songs from. So we had like camera crews and stuff for those. Those are like the two biggest shows on our Europe tour, and so Caleb, mixed the audio himself at home,
Oh,
and
cool.
our um, content guy Jar um, did all the camera work and stuff like that, and hired like a camera crew and everything, and he edited the video. So we've already been like working on these, and we kind of have them ready to go. So not a lot of work to be done at this point on our end, but yeah, we're just gonna throw them up there and like let people see them kind of like in a live stream format. Just have people tune in and check them out. So I'm stoked for people
Yeah,
to see them.
yeah, it's really cool. All these bands that have been doing that, and even us, we've been hopping on these calls with a bunch of bands to just sit down and talk, and it's really like an even playing field. Like everybody's sitting at home right now, we're working minimally, so it's really cool to at least put this content out there because I mean I don't know about you, but I'm going stir crazy sitting at my house. What have you been doing? Have you guys been working on new material? It's already been I think almost 2 years since your last record came out. right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and like I said, like we were taking a break anyway, like essentially because the record cycle kind of came to a close, so we're like working on a new record now. And Caleb was doing a lot of writing on the road too, so he kind of got a head start on it. But
yeah,
yeah, so we've got a lot of cool stuff, and we've got all the time in the world to keep working on it. So we're just
right,
gonna keep up with it, and hopefully, get something out when the time's appropriate. We're just not sure when that's gonna be, I guess.
right,
Yeah, so we were kind of hoping to start playing shows again in like August, but not sure if that's gonna happen or not. But we'll
right.
see.
Well, and you guys were supposed to be playing Riff Fest for us here in Detroit in July, and I know a lot of people have been asking if it's still happening, and
Yeah,
it's kind of one of those things that's still unknown. As soon as we know, of course, we'll let everybody know. But when you do a festival, it's hard, especially a one-day festival. It's really hard to just say like, okay, we're going to postpone it to this date because everybody's doing different things, and typically a band that's on a festival you might not be on tour with, and so it's certainly thrown a wrench in everything that we're doing here at the radio station. That's for sure.
yeah, understandable. Yeah, it's hard with festivals and stuff, and like we were planning on doing some cool stuff in August too, and at this point we're just kind of like, all right, maybe we should maybe wait till next summer or
Right.
whatever needs to happen. So I don't know, we'll see. But we're all, I was texting Caleb today. We're just like kind of itching to like play shows, and even though we weren't really supposed to now anyway, but it's like we can't really hang with the boys and like do what we normally do. So it just feels weird. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, have you guys thought about doing, getting on maybe like a Zoom call and like trying to play together? Like, I haven't really seen anyone do that quite yet, but I think it would at least be like entertaining to see you guys try.
Right. I was watching like this thing with like Post Malone and Travis Barker playing Nirvana songs.
Yeah.
And it was sick. And I was like, are they all like in the same place? Because it looked like they were all in different rooms, so they were like distanced. But I don't know if they were like in the same place recording it, or if they did it over Zoom or what. But yeah, like I feel like some bands have been doing that, kind of like trying to play, but just through like a Zoom call. And I'm not very tech savvy, so I don't really know how that would work or sound good. But hey,
Right.
it's worth a try.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, at least if nothing else for entertainment purposes. I think that with that Post Malone thing, I would assume that it seemed like they were in the same place, but like you said, different rooms. So at
Just
least
in
at
different
that
rooms.
point, you could
Yeah.
probably have like in the headphones or something to like
Yeah.
not be on a delay. Whereas like if you're on a Zoom call and there's just like 2 seconds of delay between you and the drummer,
Right.
that might not sound right.
Right. And I'm
Yeah.
surprised this is even working, because I tried to go on a podcast like the other night, and it was a total disaster. I was like, what am I doing? I don't know how to figure this out.
Well, if you're not, because I feel like technology is really what's occupying everybody's time right now. So if you're not
Right.
super tech savvy, like, what have you been doing? Have you been streaming a lot of shows, listening to music? I don't know what the restrictions are in Ohio right now.
I've been on Call of Duty a lot. Yeah, watching shows like Westworld and Dave. I don't know if you've seen Dave. It's that like Lil Dicky show. It's really funny. But yeah, man, I mean, I've just been doing like housework. I like renovated my bathroom myself. Uh, did some gardening. Yeah, like just like adult stuff, basically.
Right before you hopped on, I had mentioned that I did yard work yesterday because it was finally nice out. And today I feel like I'm 107 years old. Like my back hurts,
Oh yeah.
my chest muscles hurt. I'm like, what? All I did was rake leaves. Granted, they were wet leaves, but it was like, oh my God, I guess that's what being an adult is all about, right?
I can't believe so the guy across the street from me is such a show off. He has like a perfect green lawn, and he's like, he's probably in his 60s or something like that. He's out there working on it every day. I'm like, this guy's showing off. Like, I've got like
Right.
dandelions on my lawn, like looks all crappy. I'm like, man, I need to
I
get
have
on
to
this
get
guy's
the,
level. I don't know how he does it though, because it's like I'm sore after like one day of gardening. So he does it every day.
yeah. Well, and so you renovated your bathroom. How did that go?
Uh, it was great. It looks good. I cut a big gash in my finger. It's all healed up now, but I was like, oh man, like I really don't want to go get stitches, so I just like bandaged it up really good, and it's
Right.
fine. It's fine now, but
If you,
I'm very accident prone.
well, if you could give any, because I've seen a lot of people trying to do like at home projects. And I
Yeah.
saw some other people that were trying to do like big renovations like that. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe now is not the time because I don't want to get injured. I don't want to have to go to the hospital. So
Exactly.
do you have like a tip of advice that you could give anybody that's watching that might be thinking about, ripping their bathroom apart?
See, that's something I didn't think about. Like, if I got hurt, like, am I gonna go to the hospital and get stitches right now when they're like already swamped? But yeah, I don't know. Just be careful. Wear gloves. That's
Yeah.
the best advice I can give you for sure.
Yeah, I have a tree that fell in my backyard and it fell on the fence. But the tree's so big it needs to be like cut, like with a chainsaw. And a bunch of
Yeah.
my friends were like, "Well, you have a chainsaw, just go back there and cut it up." I'm like, again, probably not going to do that. I've never used a chainsaw before. I don't know that that's a really smart thing to do during a pandemic. I think
Right.
I'll just let it sit. It's been sitting there for 8 years. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. Maybe hold off on that for just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little while. Have you been watching any shows, like any recommendations on things? Oh no, you said Westworld and some other
Yeah.
things, right?
Yeah. Westworld, I've been watching like every Sunday when it airs, and then Dave is on every Wednesday.
Okay,
Yeah. It's
cool.
that show's funny.
Have
It's
you been cooking at all? Because somebody commented
yeah.
and said share your bread recipes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it's a little more complicated than that. So I've been making like traditional like sourdough, so where you like make a starter and like, do it from scratch. So that's been fun, like a learning experience, I guess.
I was
But
gonna
it's
say,
been cool. I've had what's that?
did you do that like prior to the pandemic, or is this something that just started out of this?
No, my dad used to do it, so I was like, okay, I'm like 34 now. It's time for me to try it finally. But and yeah, it actually worked out great. It's been nice. Just had like really good like sourdough bread to like eat at my house all the time. But yeah,
Yeah.
I've been cooking a lot. I love to cook, so
Yeah, see, I don't mind cooking. I've been cooking a lot. That's been kind of the theme a lot of people have. My big thing is like I hate doing dishes though. So it's like
yeah,
every day, like you cook, and then it's like now I just want to like drink a couple of beers and not clean. But I guess that's the adult way. Clean up after yourself.
yeah. A lot of times I'll just leave it and then do it in the morning.
Yeah.
Because once I've had like a couple beers or like a glass of wine with dinner, I'm like, I'm gonna have a couple more and just chill.
Right. Yeah, that kind of turns into what everyone's calling the COVID-19. I'm trying to stay active. Have you been like at least trying to like stay active? Because some people are commenting like, a lot of times on stage, you're jumping around and you're moving around. And obviously when we're just sitting, you kind of lose that. So have you been trying to do anything to stay active?
Yeah, I've just been running outside in the neighborhood when the weather's good enough. I'm used to like going to a gym when I'm home, but it's obviously closed, so I can't do that. And I don't have enough motivation to actually like lift weights at home, so I just go for like a couple miles for a run, like whenever it's nice enough outside to do so.
Yeah.
But that's about it. And it's like, we've been ordering pizza quite a bit, and like, so it's not staying in shape is not priority one in this household. So
Right. There you go. There you go. Have you found that it's been hard to find motivation to do things? Because that's a big problem for me. Is that like I wake up and I'm like, oh, I could do that, or I could not. So, have you found that?
I guess for me, like when I'm home from tour, I don't do a whole lot anyway. Sounds bad, but so overall, this hasn't been too much different from when I'm home from tour anyway.
Okay.
Because usually I'm so exhausted from the road that I'm just like, I'm just gonna chill. There's like stuff that I have to get done while I'm home, of course. But aside from like, not needing to make an excuse to go out to a bar, like not much has changed. So it's kind of nice, you know what I mean? So I'm just chilling.
Would you kind of
Yeah.
consider yourself more of an introvert then?
Um, you know, as I get older, maybe a little bit more. I used to like always have to be out socializing, but nowadays I'm just like cool with just hanging. More of a homebody these days.
Yeah, see, and that's the memes that everyone has been sharing, like, oh, this is like a dream for introverts. Whereas me, and we're only a couple of years difference in age, but like I still really like to go out, and I miss seeing my friends, and that's always been the joke, like with all of my girlfriends. I'm like, I just need you guys to like check in on me because this is
Yeah.
really like sitting at home has been, like I said, I've been doing yard work and going outside, but I can only see my neighbor from a distance. I'm like, okay, hey, your lawn
Yeah.
looks better than mine. Cool.
I do like miss my friends, you know what I mean? Like just hanging
Yep.
with everybody. Cause I just have a roommate and like we see each other every day. We're just like, what's up?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and so I was gonna ask if you were by yourself or if you were like living with somebody. So like, how has that been? I'm assuming roommate. I don't know if that is that like a dude, a chick. Is that somebody that you're?
Yeah, it's a dude. He is
Okay.
my good friend.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't like gone at each other yet. So, overall pretty solid experience, but you know, we're good at keeping giving each other our space and stuff like that.
Good.
So yeah, and he works from home anyway, so he's usually like, you know, on conference calls and stuff like that, and I'm usually playing video games.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So other than what'd you say you were playing Call of Duty? Any other big
Yeah.
games you've been getting into?
Yeah, I got that new Final Fantasy 7 remake. Super sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like super addicted to Call of Duty right now, so just been going ham on that.
What gaming system are you using? Is that Xbox?
I'm on PS4, but it's on
Okay.
everything. So like, you know, it's actually great for quarantine because everybody's on Xbox and or PC. It's cross-platform, so like you can get on there and like talk to your buds and game with them and stuff like that. So it's kind of like hanging out, just not in real life.
Yeah, yeah. Have you been doing any like Zoom meetings with your friends or anything like that?
Yeah, we've been using that House Party app. You
Yeah,
seen that one? Yeah, we've been
yeah.
using that. So just like usually on like Friday and Saturday nights, like if everybody's like having a drink, like we'll hop on there and just like mess around and stuff like that. We had like the band, we had like a Zoom conference with our like creative team, like talking about like the next album and what we want to do with it and things like that. So that was cool. That made me feel very businessy. But yeah.
Well, with new music, because you guys said that, or you said that you guys would have been, this would have been a break for you guys anyway. You know, kind of the end of an album cycle, and Caleb had already been writing. So, what are the plans? Are you able to really set any plans for the next album or anything like that, or is everything kind of like in the air right now?
Well, since we had already kind of planned this break, we're still kind of going ahead with like we don't have any like set dates yet, but we're kind of going ahead with like a general time we want to start getting stuff out. So that hasn't changed yet. So we're gonna see how it goes. And it's like I guess our concern is like if we start playing shows and if they open up certain size venues or whatever it may be, are people gonna, you know, want to go? You know,
Yep.
are they gonna feel safe and comfortable going to a show? You know what I mean? So that's the question that's on my mind, I guess. But yeah, as of right now, we haven't like pushed anything back or anything like that. We're just kind of going ahead with business as usual,
Okay.
um, and hoping for the best. You know.
How do you feel about going back out into public and going and, you know, I mean, living the life that you live, you're in venues with, you know, hundreds, thousands of people a night. So how do you feel personally about that?
Um, I mean, it's just sort of a take it day by day thing. Um, you know, obviously we miss it. We want to get back out to it, and we don't want to do it too soon, or you know what I mean.
Right.
Um, it's just there's just so much up in the air right now, like as far as like easing society back into like normal stuff, and yeah, I don't know. I don't want to you know sound like a bummer, so I'm just hoping for the best. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
hope we can get back to it as soon as possible.
for sure. And for us, I mean, concerts and live shows are a huge part of what we do at the radio station. But on a personal level, like for me, like I said, like I like going out to the bar. I like meeting up with my friends. I mean, I would do anything to have a draft beer right about now. But at the same time, like I also am like flashing back to like the last few times that I went to the bar with my friends and thinking about it now, and I'm like, I just don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Like, I don't know how is that. Like, am I gonna wear a mask and then like take and like lift my like try
Right.
and drink my draft beer? Like, how's that gonna work?
Right. And there has to come a point where, you know, we can be around each other and like do our normal stuff, but just maybe without like you know, shaking hands and all that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like step by step, little by little,
Right.
get back into it and figuring out what we need to do. Just washing our hands, you know? So
Right.
we'll get
Yeah.
there eventually, hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah, I'm certainly hoping so too. Your guys' live show is one of my favorite things. Actually, you guys played here. It was maybe like a couple of days after the last album had come out, which I loved the last album. I thought it was great. I mean, I love all your music, but are there any themes that are being discussed for the new music, or is it still too early to say?
I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, you know,
Okay.
we kind of have, you know, discussed like kind of a theme for the album and things like that, but I can't discuss it too much. But yeah, it's gonna
Okay.
be so far I will give you it's very riffy, very heavy, and it's a lot of fun. So
Cool. Okay, so basically, you guys aren't going country, right?
no,
Good.
not
Good
yet.
to hear. Not yet. Are there any? I mean, obviously, you're rock and roll rock band, but are you a fan of other genres of music? Is there anybody like you can think of, like some of your favorite artists from genres that are not rock and roll?
Yeah, like I love like old school hip hop. Like Biggie is like one of my favorites. I listen to a lot of pop music and stuff too. Like I'm always trying to keep current with that. So like Dua Lipa's got a sweet album right now. Um, and yeah, like kind of like in the past like year or so, I've gotten a little bit into country too. So yeah, like Luke Combs and stuff like that. So yeah,
All
I
right.
like everything. I'm really just super open. Obviously, like punk and hardcore and metal are like my main things that I grew up listening to, but I like everything. So,
What are some of your favorite bands in in the rock scene, metal scene, hardcore scene?
oh man, I feel like I should pull up my Spotify and just like see what I've been listening to. Um,
We've
Ghost
got all the time in
Inside,
the world. Go for it.
yeah. Ghost Inside just dropped something, a new song. August Burns Red has a new record out. It's pretty sick. Code Orange. Yeah, stuff like that. Um, Favorites, I would say While She Sleeps is a band from the UK that I love. Um, yeah, there's so many. It's
Yeah.
just too much.
Yeah, it's hard to narrow that down. But like if you're going for, like you said, you like to go running, like do you have a running playlist that you listen to?
Yeah, that varies. Like sometimes I'll put on like some heavy stuff, which is like especially at the gym. Like when I would used to go to the gym, sad to say, but I would definitely listen to a lot of heavier stuff there. But yeah, when I'm running, it's like I'm trying to like get out of the house and enjoy like a really nice day. Sometimes I'll put on, you know, just like a whole mix of just like songs that I've liked on Spotify. So
Yeah, that's basically what I've done. I started a Core and Kill Me is what I named it playlist that I've been listening to and just like adding songs that are it's all over the place. I had somebody ask me yesterday like, "Oh, what's on your playlist?" And I was like, it varies. It goes everywhere from like Rihanna to Beartooth to Alice in Chains over to like Lizzo and they were like,
yeah,
that seems it's a little wide for variety. And I'm like, yeah, but it's Core and Kill Me. I don't. It's I'm just sitting here like doing yard work, listening to music. So
right. Like all those memes with like Bill Clinton like holding the records. Have you seen those?
yeah,
It's like yeah, like my albums on there would like vary ridiculously. So
yeah.
or
Um,
those memes with like the little fairy and it's like my music taste and then it's like a goth person. It's like also my music taste. Like that's totally me too.
yeah, yeah. I got some people that are submitting some questions here. So what's a dream band to play with that you've never played with before?
I guess like maybe Rage Against the Machine would be cool. A lot of bands like we've already gotten to play with, which is sick, like Sabbath and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely Rage would be sick to like be on a festival with or something like that.
Did you see Rage like their tour this year was I believe 20 years it had been since they toured last. So have you ever seen Rage Against the Machine in
I've never
concert?
seen them. No,
Neither have
I
I.
actually had a ticket purchased already for their show in like Cleveland.
Okay.
Which I forget when that was supposed to be, maybe July or something like that. But I don't know. I don't think it's happening. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I think the whole tour at this point has been postponed. They were doing 2 shows here in Detroit, but I've never seen them. Rage Against the Machine is one of my favorite bands of all time. I saw Prophets of Rage a couple of years ago, which was awesome, but it's, you know, it's not the same. And so that was one, when it was announced, I was like, yes, I will buy all the tickets. I will definitely be there. And then all this happened, and it was like, I'm just gonna go stand in a corner somewhere. So that's
I know what you mean.
This was the summer of tours. Like there were so many big names. So it's cool to hear concerts that you like to go to. Is that I mean, obviously being on the road, I can imagine that it's hard to go see shows. But like, what are some of your favorite bands to see live?
Yeah, no, I love going to shows like when I'm home. Especially, you know, a lot of my friends that live at home that I don't get to see when I'm on the road. Like it's always a good time to like get together and like go to a show. What was the question? Like favorite bands to see?
Yeah. What are your favorite live bands?
Live bands. Let's see. Oh, okay. So like, have you ever heard of the Struts?
Yeah.
They're kind of like very Queen-esque.
Yes,
but like
they're like flashy.
Very flamboyant. Yeah. Like me and a few of my friends like really like that to go see that band. Like when they come through town, it's kind of like our thing. Like, oh, they're coming to town. Like, let's go. So that's a really fun one. That's the one I like to see. Another one of my favorite bands to see live is always A Day to Remember. And like we just did a tour with them, which finally like we've been waiting to tour with them for so long because we're all big fans. But I love going to their shows. It's always a great time.
Yeah, that was actually, I forgot that you guys were just here and did that show. It came to Ypsilanti here in Michigan, and that was an awesome, like, that was a killer show, especially because the venue was still an arena, but it was a little bit smaller, but,
yeah. And
I can't remember who else was on it, but the group of bands, it was you guys, A Day to Remember, and I'm trying to think of...
I Prevail.
That's who it was. Detroit's own I Prevail. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
And I love those guys, too, but... like, to me, that lineup was probably one of the most killer lineups for a tour that could have ever come together. Like, you guys, it's like all your styles are, you know, kind of in sync with each other. And I can imagine that being on tour with those guys, like, that had to be hella fun.
Oh, it was great. One of my favorite tours for sure. Loved it.
Good. I got somebody that keeps asking, what is the Beartooth thing that you have behind you on your wall?
Oh, that's like a thing that... it's like our release day thing, like the Billboard chart release. So it's like where we charted on like the different charts. Cool. So like the hard rock albums and the independent albums and like where we charted like on the 200 as well. And it kind of it's kind of like a history piece because it shows like the other bands that were kind of on the chart on that same week. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got Metallica on there, Lil Wayne.
It's always interesting to see the Billboard charts when it's, you know, Lil Wayne next to Beartooth and Metallica at the same time.
Yeah, it's great to see that. Love it.
Yeah. I was going to ask you something else, and it's just corn flew out of my head, but...
yeah, you'll have that.
Do you have any like big plans for the weekend? Obviously we're like halfway through the week, so like what do your weekends look like?
Is there a difference between the weekend and the week at this point? I don't think much is going to change between now and then, honestly. I think so me and my roommate are like renovating a house actually. Okay. So we're probably going to work on that a little bit, do some more manual labor.
There you
go. It's
the
only way to stay in shape.
Have you just been staying at home? Like I'm able to at least come to the radio station. I'm at the radio station right now. Okay. So I'm at least able to do that. Are you able to like leave and go? Have you gone anywhere or you're just chilling at home? You haven't left the house in 5 weeks? There, you're back.
Yeah,
it just, sure what happened there.
It kicked me. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. That happens. It's
yeah, no, I've been staying at home. I heard everything you were saying, so I don't know, it kicked me.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I've literally been at home or the grocery store.
What's the
That's
grocery
it.
store situation like out there?
It's not that crazy. It's pretty chill. Like, just wear a mask and just go get your stuff. I know early on there was like no bread, no toilet paper, stuff like that, but now it's just mostly back to normal, I would say.
Yeah. Have you noticed any like odd grocery items that have been sold out? Because I've got one that's been on my list of things that I wanted to get, and every time I go, it seems to be sold out, and it's kind of a odd item, and I'm very angry about it.
Okay.
It's refried beans because I love taco night and I love refried beans. And
Whoa.
the last two times that I've gone to the grocery store, the only thing I can get is like there's like one can left and it's like the giant like family size, and I'm like, well, that's too many refried beans. Like I don't need that many beans. But I find that that's like odd. Like what a weird item to be completely gone.
That is strange. I think, yeah, like canned foods in general, people have just been grabbing, but I think people have chilled out with like the hoarding. So
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah.
Yeah. I haven't had trouble finding much stuff lately,
Yeah, I
thankfully.
haven't had much
So,
trouble, like I said, but I did notice the last two times I was like, my only option is to buy this giant can of refried beans, and I guess I bought it anyways, and I made it and I ate all of them. So that's pretty much what I have going on. Someone just messaged in and said they left tacos in your van one time at a
yeah.
show in Westchester, PA. Do you recall finding tacos in the van?
You know what? The van was so dirty that even if there was somebody else's tacos in there, it wouldn't have like changed the landscape very much.
What's the weirdest thing that's ever happened on tour?
Uh, you know, Caleb drank our guitar player's piss one time. Um,
Let's
because he,
rewind. Yeah, how did that happen?
yeah, well, back when we used to tour in a van, we used to pee in bottles all the time. And then Caleb woke up one morning and just like grabbed the nearest like bottle of it, thought it was Gatorade, I guess, and just went to town.
And did he like realize like right away that what was happening? Like, how did that go? If you
Well,
guys are, I assume you're all in the van together.
you know how it like takes a second to realize you're not drinking what you thought you were drinking.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he just like spat it back in the bottle and then, you know,
Was he
bowed
mad?
his head in shame.
Yeah.
He wasn't mad. He was just it. He actually took it pretty well.
Yeah.
He thought it was pretty funny.
How would you have reacted if that would have happened to you?
Oh, I would have lost it. I think I would have
Yeah.
just. I don't know. I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah. No, let's not. A couple other questions coming in. Are you a big Star Wars fan?
Yeah, I am.
What's your favorite movie?
My favorite Star Wars movie, I guess it's Empire Strikes Back. It's kind of a kind of a unanimous decision by most people. I think that's most people's favorite one. So,
Well,
but
don't
yeah.
judge me, but I've actually never seen any of the Star Wars anything. I did hear that they're all up on Disney Plus now, so I guess now's the time for me to check them out. But I remember as a kid, my brother rented the first one,
Mhm.
and I fell asleep. Like, you know, the opening scene where it's like scrolling. That's
Yeah.
all I saw. I was out. I fell asleep.
Yeah.
That was it. So
You know what? Girls fall asleep during Star Wars. That, and I hate to like generalize, but like the amount of times I've heard that story is just ridiculous. Almost everybody like who you talk to who went to see the original one like in theaters, like, oh yeah, like me and your mom went and saw that. Your mom fell asleep. That's like such a common story. The first one is very slow, I guess. So
okay.
I guess that,
I'm gonna be honest. I maybe only know like 2 or 3 chicks that love Star Wars, like some of my dude friends do. Like I don't really know that many chicks that are like Star Wars. You know, like
yeah.
it seems like it's again, and I don't want to generalize, but it's definitely like it seems like it weighs. It's a little bit more male demographic for Star
Yeah.
Wars. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. I feel like there are quite a bit of female Star Wars fans actually, just based on what I've seen. But like especially more recently. But yeah, it's for everybody.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna try and give it another chance now that I don't have anything else to do, and yard work I got to give a break for like a week because my back is killing me. But anyways, we'll wrap this up. Is there anything that you want to say? I know that a lot of people, like I said, we're doing these chats just to kind of keep everyone entertained, and maybe if there's anybody that's struggling out there or having a hard time dealing with sitting in lockdown, do you have any advice or anything that you want to throw out to the fans out there?
Yeah. I mean, for me, like weather permitting, I just try to get outside. If you like, one of the best parts of my day usually is like I've been grilling out a lot. So like it just gives me an opportunity to just walk outside for, a little bit of time. And yeah, fire up the grill and, make yourself dinner. Like cooking is very therapeutic and definitely being outside is as well. So those are the two best things that, make my day a little better. So
I could smell someone grilling while I was doing my yard work yesterday in my neighborhood,
yeah,
and I was like, "Where's that
you're
coming
like, I
from?"
don't
Like,
want to do this work. I want to eat that food.
I was like, "Who's making like that's definitely barbecue chicken? Like, I want some of that. Like, where's that chicken
Yeah.
at?" All
Yeah,
right,
I'm
well,
getting
thank you.
excited for dinner already.
Yeah, right. Well, it's 4 o'clock and time doesn't matter in quarantine, so I say eat now and then eat again in like another 4 hours. Who cares, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing.
Good, good. Right on. Well, Oshie, thank you so much for joining us. Super excited to hear new music from Beartooth whenever it comes out.
Yeah.
Enjoy renovating the house. Like I said, thank you so much. Thanks to the fans that tuned in, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Of course, Riff Fest still up in the air, but hopefully we'll either be able to do it or get it rescheduled and see you guys soon.
Yeah, definitely. Hope to see you there. Everybody, be safe. Stay cool. Thanks
All
for
right.
having me.
Yep, we'll talk to you soon, man. Thank
All
you.
right. Bye.
Bye.